Some guys don't realize that women need men to shoot their shot with them. Women need you to initiate things with them. And I'm going to explain the psychology of that in this video so you don't ever feel like you're doing something bad or wrong, or you're inconveniencing the woman or interrupting her by attempting to shoot your shot, by attempting to make something happen with her. Right? So something that a man needs to understand is that it's always been the man's role to shoot his shot with a woman. Back in the day, for example, if a man liked a woman and he wanted something to happen between him and her, he would be courting her. Right? Back then it was known as courting rather than dating. And if they wanted to hang out where it was just the two of them, then they would usually be accompanied by what was known as a chaperone. And the chaperone is someone who would come along and make sure that the man and woman didn't end up kissing and having sex. And if things were going well, the guy would need to continue to shoot his shot by asking her father if he would give him permission to have his daughter's hand in marriage. And if he then got the approval for that, then they would end up getting married and they would have sex on the wedding night. And all the way, the guy would be shooting his shot, attempting to make something happen with the woman. And then things loosened up a bit in society, where a woman could go on a date with a guy and she didn't have to have a chaperone, but the intention of the dating was to secure a relationship that would then turn into a marriage. And things then loosened up a bit more in society, where women could go on dates with guys and get into relationships, and the relationship didn't have to turn into a marriage. And it loosened up even further from there, where a woman could just start having sex with a guy. She could have a one-night stand, or she could get into a casual sex relationship, and she didn't have to marry the guy or even get into a serious relationship with him. And it's not women's fault or men's fault that those changes have happened. Instead, society has changed over the years. But one thing that has remained the same all the way is that men have had to shoot their shot, because women have a different appeal than men do. Men can look at women and instantly say, yes, I want to have sex with her. And for some guys even say, yep, I want her as a girlfriend, or I'd marry that. Right away, the woman doesn't even need to do anything. So women can't go around shooting their shot with random guys, because most guys will happily have sex with a woman if she's offering. Right? If she's attractive or she's decent looking and she's shooting her shot with him, she's offering herself to him, most guys will be like, okay, I'll do it. Why not? And the guy then will tell his friends, or he'll feel good about himself, that he got laid. Right? I got laid last night. And it's a big deal. But for a woman, it's not a big deal. She can get laid just like that, just by showing interest in it, just by opening herself up to it. So women can't go around doing that because they have a different appeal than men do. And male-female attraction works differently in that men are usually instantly ready, whereas a woman wants to assess a guy first. She wants to interact with him. She wants to figure out if he has the type of traits that are attractive to her before she then opens up to him. Right? So if a woman goes around shooting her shot with a guy, she may end up making an insecure guy feel confident because she came over and talked to him. Or she may end up talking to a guy who doesn't even like her but is willing to have sex with her because she's offering, or will get into a relationship with her even though he doesn't even want to be with her. So she'll end up wasting her time. And as a result of that, women wait for a man who has the confidence to walk up and talk to them and shoot his shot, who has the interest to do that, and is able to do it in a competent way, where he's able to start a conversation with her, for example, and make her feel some attraction for him, in that she's sensing that he has the type of traits that she is looking for, that she's willing to open herself up to. For example, he's confident rather than insecure. He's charming rather than awkward. He is able to flirt with her and create a sexual vibe rather than just playing it too safe and being too polite. If he's able to add in some flirting or create a sexual vibe, then it's different. It means that, okay, there's that spark between him and her. So she wants to be able to feel attracted to some traits that a guy has and see that he is confident enough to continue the interaction with her, he's interested enough, and then he shoots his shot and she says yes. She goes along with it and she hopes that it's then going to work out. But of course, there's no guarantee that it's going to work out. However, that's much better for her than walking around just offering herself to guys, because most guys would do her if she's offering. So it's important as a man that you understand that you're not doing something weird by shooting your shot with a woman. You're not doing something new. You're not doing something abnormal. You're not some sort of weirdo. Like, what are you doing walking over and talking to women? Instead, it's completely normal. It's natural. It's the way that it's always been. And women need it from you, right? They need you to offer them an opportunity to find a lover, boyfriend, or husband. They need it. So you're literally giving something to the woman that she wants. You're offering her an opportunity. You're not taking anything from her. Another part to this is that women actually need you to feel enough lust for them for a relationship to be able to be sustained, to keep a relationship together. So for example, if a guy is interacting with a woman and he's afraid to show some sexual interest in a subtle way by using flirting, or if he's not able to create that sexual vibe between him and her where she can sense that he feels some lust for her and she's able to feel it as well, and they have that sexual spark, that sexual connection, if he's not able to create that, then the woman worries that if she opens herself up to him sexually, then sure, he may enjoy having sex with her and the physical sensations will feel good for the both of them, but after that, what will happen? All right, what's going to happen then? If there's no real sexual spark between him and her, how is the relationship going to be able to be maintained? Because it's not going to just be about being friends. And something important to understand is that you're not doing anything wrong when you interact with a woman and show her that you find her sexy or you're finding her attractive and you create that sexual vibe. Instead, you're satisfying her instincts where she wants to get with a guy who's going to continue to want her. Because the objective of attraction, when you really go down to the fundamental level, even if you never want to have kids, right? You never want anything to do with being a parent, having kids, and so on. The objective of attraction is to get the male and female human to procreate, to have babies. And a woman's attraction is wired to make her want to open herself up to a guy who's going to want her again and again and again, because that's going to result in multiple babies. And that's the objective of nature with attraction. Now, it doesn't mean that the man and woman have to have babies. Instead, what's going on is that a woman wants to sense that you feel enough lust for her, and she can feel that too, in order to have a relationship continue and not have it end up feeling like you're just friends or it's just neutral and there's no draw to each other, because that's not what her instinct of attraction is driving her to do. Her instinct of attraction is not driving her to get with a guy who may have sex with her every now and again and then she doesn't get pregnant. Instead, her instinct is to try to find a guy who's going to really want her and is going to continue to want her. And therefore, when guys look at women and when they start to talk to women, if they're trying to hide their interest from women, then they're not actually offering her what she really wants. They may think that they're being a nice guy, that they're being respectful, but what she's feeling is, well, there's not really much of a spark between them. So why should she open herself up to him? And that applies even if a woman just wants to have a casual sex relationship. Her attraction instincts are wanting to make sure that she has that backup option, that if she does change her mind and wants to end up getting pregnant and have a family with the guy, that he is actually going to continue to be attracted to her and he's going to continue to have sex with her to the point where she can create multiple offspring. And it also applies for one-night stands, where a woman can become very turned on by a guy who is confident when he's interacting with her and he's creating a sexual vibe, and he's not afraid to show that he has some sexual interest in her and create that private understanding between him and her. And she feels really turned on by that, and she goes with how she's feeling and she ends up opening up to him and having sex with him, even though there's no guarantee that a relationship will continue after that. However, of course, many couples do actually start a relationship and go on to get married after having a one-night stand with each other. It's not a case of if a couple has sex on the first night, then that's it. They're never going to see each other again and it can't work and so on. So many couples end up getting into a relationship and getting married as a result of that. But the point I'm making is that if you're making a woman feel attracted to you and you're not afraid to show sexual interest in her because she actually needs you to have that type of lust for her, and you do it in the right way, then she can become very turned on by that to the point where she ends up sleeping with you on the first night or first date or second date, and you can then get into a relationship with her. But if a guy is talking to a woman and he really finds her sexy and he wants her, but he's just talking to her in a friendly way, in a polite way, in a neutral way, and he's hoping that it then turns into kissing and sex, he'll often be disappointed because a woman's instincts are not being satisfied. She's thinking, well, there's not much of a spark between him and I. Sure, he may enjoy having sex with her, but what's going to happen after that? Is she really going to want to continue to see him after that? Is he going to want to continue to see her? Because it seems kind of neutral between them. It seems like they'd be better off as friends or as people who just had an interaction and then parted ways, because it doesn't feel like there's enough of a spark between them to get a relationship going and then maintain it. So many guys miss out on opportunities with women who would have had sex or a relationship with them if they were just willing to shoot their shot. But they weren't willing to do it because they were either afraid or they thought that they might be doing a bad thing. They might be interrupting the woman or inconveniencing her, when in reality, she needs a guy to present her with an opportunity, because if she goes around offering herself to other guys by shooting her shot, pretty much every guy would have sex with her. So she can't do it. She actually needs you to offer her an opportunity. So you're not doing anything wrong. And when I was a guy who wasn't shooting his shot, I wasn't getting any results. And then when I tried to shoot my shot and I was doing it in the wrong way, I didn't get results. Women just rejected me or friend zoned me. But when I figured out how to attract women and how to create that sexual vibe, that sexual understanding, then I had more women than I knew what to do with. I had multiple women in my life at the same time. I had pretty girlfriends who wanted to marry me, but I didn't want to settle down. I just wanted to continue on, enjoying the power that I discovered, where you can actually make women feel attracted to you just like that. And they're interested in you. They want you. And I enjoyed that for over 10 years before settling down. And now I teach guys in my community the secrets that allowed me to experience all of that. And they're getting the same type of results, right? Attraction is something that always works the same way. Women always want you to shoot your shot. You're not doing a bad thing by offering an opportunity to a woman to find a potential lover, boyfriend, or husband. She needs that from you. And you're not doing a bad thing by showing some sexual interest in a woman. It doesn't mean that you have to be sleazy. It's not about being overly sexual or anything like that, but there's a subtle understanding, this subtle flirting that goes on that creates a private understanding between you and the woman that you find each other sexually attractive, that there is mutual lust there between you and her. And she wants that. She needs that. There's a certain way to do it where it's discreet, where it's a private understanding between you and the woman. And once you get that, you're good. And by the way, if you want to have sex with attractive women or get yourself into a relationship with an attractive woman, this is the video that I recommend you watch next. You'll discover what not to do and what to do if you want to have sex with attractive women or get into a relationship with an attractive woman.